Welcome to our next episode of
Fandom
Family
Chats.
This is a production of Family Fan Clubs on Facebook. You can find us all over Facebook. You can find us all over social media under Fandom Family Chats. Look us up, get dialed in, get plugged in, and get ready to listen to some crazy people talk crazy stuff.
Hey guys, I'm Jeanette.
I'm Amanda.
I'm Eve.
Tonight we're going to be talking about Station 19, episode 8,
I think so.
the Christmas episode. I'm not sure what number it is. Yeah,
It's
So-
great. Grey's Anatomy episode 8, so that would be Station 19-8.
same one.
Yeah.
Yeah. First thing we see, I think it opens with Karina and Maya baking cookies and wrapping toys for tots.
Aw, how sweet.
Baking cookies.
Baking cookies.
They were baking cookies.
No, they actually were though. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not a
It
euphemism this
sounded-
time.
it just sounded like a fun euphemism.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I said last week that I really wanted to see them do something other than that. And so here we are.
That's right.
They must have listened to our show and decided that that was what
They
wanted
have.
to do.
They have to have Krista listening in to our podcast because obviously that's why we got what you wanted.
Exactly. It's not Krista. It's the little people that are listening to us and bringing her all of our humongous, phenomenal ideas.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because, I mean,
Would
who
you
better
all-
else can write the show than the fans
Than
themselves
us.
by
Yeah.
this point?
No, I agree.
I think we can do it much better at this point. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, based on, we'll talk about Grey's Anatomy later. I could have done a better job with that, but
It's
was
not like they
exciting,
can do much worse than they have been. So
Ugh.
right?
And we were just like glamorizing them a couple episodes about like, oh my gosh, it's so good lately.
Mhm.
And then they have to go throw this at us. They were not listening to us.
Not on that one. No. But back to Station 19, right?
All right.
So-
So what's in the freezer?
Andy's divorce papers, which is I'm like, why are you keeping them in the freezer? That just was so funny. Like, what? Why not another spot? It's not like they have to. I don't know.
Was she
Amanda-
scared of them?
Amanda, you're a Friends fan. Did it?
What did I
remind
just
you-
say? Is she scared of them?
Yeah, that went over my head. I mean, I
Or
like
Joey-
Friends.
Or Joey
Miss
put
that
all
one.
the books that he was scared of.
Yeah, Joey. He always puts like his book, The Shining, in the freezer when he gets too scared.
So funny.
That's what I thought of it for first thing I saw it on here. I
For
was like,
some
oh.
reason, that just didn't phase me. I was like, oh, well, of course she put them in the freezer. That sounds like an Andy thing to do.
It was so strange.
So do we think that Andy and Robert are
I think they're done based on the conversation they had at the end of the episode. I mean,
But it seems like they're in a decent place.
yeah. So I hope maybe
That
it's
was-
hope they can be cordial with each other?
yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice, open, and honest conversation they had with each other. We've
Mhm.
kind of been waiting for that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
they
I was
listened
happy
to
with
it
that.
again.
I was happy with that. And of course, I wasn't too happy with Beckett kind of being creepy when he was talking to her about it. I don't know. 'Cause didn't he almost implied like he thought they would like have relations again. And I'm like, please don't. Like, that's gross. Because I don't like him at all. Like, I'm ready for him to disappear.
Well, it sounds like he's about to, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't
We're
think
not
he's
there
going
yet, but right?
Well, he's not going anywhere. We've got our new chief of police.
Oh, the chief of police.
Or not police, I'm sorry. Of like the whole, is that what it's called? I may have called it something wrong, but it's like the whole like chief of the whole department.
Okay, so like the main guy.
yes.
Okay.
So yeah, the fire chief of the whole of Seattle. That's what Ripley was. He was the
Mhm.
Seattle fire chief. So
Yeah.
Got it. Fire chief. So not like of the house.
No, unfortunately.
Boo. I was hoping Beckett was gone.
No, I don't think we're getting rid of him anytime soon.
Oh.
if we could at least just see less of him, that would be awesome.
I don't, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't like him on screen at all, but that's beside the point, I guess.
After that, let's start talking about Vic and Theo. Where are we at with that?
Speaking of so it's funny because we talked about closure with
Mhm.
Andy and Robert, and now we're moving on to Theo and Vic, and you're like, something needs to happen here.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys need to break up, or you need to make up, or I don't
Mhm.
really care which one it is at this point. Like, this needs to go somewhere.
Yeah,
I feel like
break up.
I feel like they're both kind of, dancing around each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was the whole episode was just incredibly awkward, like their part. I think. I mean, they just didn't want anything to do with each other, and well, I mean, I think that's that's on Vic. Obviously, Theo wanted to talk about it, but she just didn't want to. And then I was really happy. I mean, Theo, I was afraid of how he would react to finding out about her and Jack and their kiss and stuff. I mean, he was really like good about it. Like that didn't bother him. I mean, I think it bothered him, but it wasn't like going to be a deal breaker because he understands, what she's going through. But I think what's bothering him more than anything is just the fact that she's pushing him away and won't,
And another thing
let
I've
him.
noticed too this episode is I feel like he's getting angrier and angrier
Yeah.
as each episode progresses, but it's like he doesn't want to be mad at Vic, or he can't be mad at Vic because she's going
her.
through stuff. Yeah, because he loves her and she's going through stuff.
Yeah.
So he's just like, I'm mad, but I don't know who to throw any of this anger at, so I'm just gonna keep it.
Right. And I don't blame him. I mean, I love Vic. I mean, she's probably one of my favorite characters, but
She's a mess right now.
yeah. And I mean, she's not treating him the way he needs to be treated. So, and I don't even know the way they left it. Are they going to work it out? Are they not? I mean, it was unclear.
Yeah, it
I know.
was confusing. I guess that's something to explore after the break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We got a little bit until we figure it out.
Mm-hmm. February, right?
So while we're on the subject of Vic, did we want to talk about that Crisis 1 call?
Yes. Oh my
Too?
gosh.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh.
I don't even know where to start with that whole situation. She wasn't wrong.
She wasn't wrong. And
She was not wrong, but the way she went about it, I was like, oh my gosh, she is going to get that woman, and she's going to get that woman killed. That's where I was thinking.
yeah, I mean, she's lucky that it ended up working out the way it did, because I mean, when she picked up that baby, I was like, oh God, Vic, what are you doing? I mean,
Like,
I
put that
understand
baby-
because yeah, my instincts would be telling me to do the exact same thing. But I mean, not the way you handle it at all. And I mean, even Jack was there as the voice of reason, which I found to be a little funny, considering when I think back to when he met Inara. Was it Inara? Is that what her name was?
Yeah.
I mean, he
Inara.
sort of like messed with that whole situation to get them away from the abusive father. So it was, I don't know, it was kind of a growth, I think, for Jack to see him like ready to handle this the right way and not do something else, like, and tell Vic that, can't do this.
And another thing too is that, what he brought this up again with Vic was that I think the reason he was so upset over it
Mhm.
is because he sees her messing up this program, which meant so much to Dean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he said, this is the only thing we have left of him, and
Mhm.
you're messing it up.
Yeah, I was proud of him, and I was proud of him for benching her. I mean, her heart was in the right place, but she was completely wrong in her actions. So
Like he was like, I know you're hurting, but you're benched. You can't do
Mhm.
this.
yeah. And I don't think I've ever seen Jack be so authoritative. And I mean, I know he's lieutenant, but we've never seen him really act like one. And so I really enjoyed seeing that side of him.
Yeah, he's always been more go with the flow, keep the peace, but he really
He stepped
Vic
it up. Yeah.
So are we ready for some more light conversation with Emmett and Travis?
Mhm. Here we've got a couple that's doing really well, and I love them so much. But that scene when Emmett brought in that painting, and when my reaction was Travis's when he like uncovered it. I was like, oh God, what is that? And Travis was so sweet, just to kind of pretend like he liked it. But Vic's reaction when she was like, that's a painting. Like that's all she could say because it was so awkward,
Yeah, she's like, wow, it's a painting.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I loved it. And I'm glad that Travis finally kind of told him. I mean, it was a lot. And I see where Travis, was having a hard time with it.
What was
But
the painting of?
it was of Travis. Was he in bed? It looked like he was in bed,
I
right?
think he was in bed.
Like maybe shirtless even.
But before they showed us what the painting was, I definitely thought it was like a nude or something.
Yes.
Luckily,
was-
that's not what it was, but it was still kind of awkward looking.
It was awkward. It was sweet and it was a very good painting, but it was awkward.
It was
really
a very
awkward.
sweet gesture.
It was.
Who's seen Big Bang Theory? Eve, you watch Big Bang
I've
Theory,
seen it.
right?
Yeah, I was just thinking that it reminded me of the Amy portrait.
The Amy and Penny portrait. You almost forgot about that thing too, and then it comes back when they move out of the apartment. Penny moves out of the apartment.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even like looking at small pictures of myself. I definitely don't want a huge portrait or painting of myself hanging in my apartment.
No, it was awkward. I mean, maybe it would have even been less awkward if it had been like a picture of him but just him by himself. Like, where were you going to hang that? Was he supposed to hang it above his bed? Like, what's he supposed to do with that Emmett? It was
Like,
just
it would have made more sense if the gift was a painting of Emmett,
yeah, I think so.
but it was just a painting of himself. Like, what are you supposed,
It's so awkward.
what are you supposed to do with that?
It's so awkward. Oh, but I love them as a couple. I think they're so sweet, and I hope
They
they
are so-
never ever break up.
They are so sweet and funny together.
Yeah, I love them.
I do too. Those are one of the strongest couples in the show,
Mm.
thankfully.
Hmm.
I love them. All right, do we want to move on to Ben?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ben. He gets the medic one back.
He does.
I-
Thankfully. Yeah.
I cheered. I was so excited.
Me too. But my gosh, that whole accident was just so sad. I mean, I about didn't make it through it. I was like, oh my gosh, if this guy dies like on Christmas, like
My
oh,
heart was racing every time we got to that scene. I was like, they need to save this guy. Like, I can't do this.
yeah. And they did though, because the medic won. So I'm hoping that this, means it's gonna be back for good.
I love how, who was it, Beckett? It's like, oh, good news. We've been cleared for medic one, as medic one is pulling
Yeah.
in. Like, yeah,
I mean-
thanks. Not helpful, but okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ben was like you said, he was gonna do it either way and just deal with the consequences, I love that about him too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the strong things about him.
Hmm. But I guess the reason that they got it was like we were talking about the new chief of the department, the fire chief, which we didn't find out much about.
Yeah, they just mentioned, oh, we have a new fire chief and it's a woman. And then that was that. It's like, wait, so we don't even get to see this new fire chief?
Yeah, it made me wonder if there's going to be like I wonder who's going to be playing her. Is it going to be some big reveal of some sort? It just felt awkward to talk about it but not show her.
It makes me wonder if maybe they just haven't cast anyone yet, and that's why they're not showing her.
Maybe. I thought it was kind of awkward and strange the way that they did it.
It was definitely awkward, though. They should have waited to announce that until they could have shown who this person is in the same episode.
Yeah.
We're gonna make you wait, sit on the edge of your seats and wait to see who she is.
Mhm.
I don't like to wait.
I know, right?
I am not patient.
That does not sound fun to me.
No.
I'm already said that I can't, that I have to wait another week before the next episode 911 comes on. So
I know.
Mhm.
Me too.
yeah, I got to the end. I said, oh no, what did I do?
Right? That's okay. Lone Star starts next week. So
Yeah, January 3rd or
that'd be
4th, I think.
good.
It's January
That'll
3rd,
help us.
because This Is Us comes on January 4th.
4th. So see, that'll help us pass the time. It'll be exciting.
Very exciting. Really, since Grace isn't coming back until March.
Oh, I think it's February is what Eve.
Oh,
Know what you're
Yeah.
February
counting?
24th.
Okay, so
Yeah.
almost March. Okay.
February
Usually
24th.
doesn't come back until March. So I was pleasantly surprised that it was February. I was like, oh, that's early for them.
Oh, we
Yeah,
get
it's
it a
coming
week
back
early.
I think a week earlier
Yeah.
than it usually does.
That's nice. So what do you all think is coming next on what are our predictions for when Station 19 returns?
I know what I would like to see happen.
What would you like to see happen?
I'd like to see Vic and Theo move their relationship somewhere. Whether
Mhm.
they, start talking about what's going on, or whether Vic just says, I can't do this, and
Yeah.
breaks up with him. I just need something to happen there, because right now they're just stuck. And
Mhm.
it's fun to watch.
It's not fun.
It's actually kind of painful.
Mm.
Oh, I forgot one thing. We should have talked about this, and I don't know how this
What?
slipped my mind. Into the episode, we find out that Prue was going to get to spend a couple days with Miranda and Ben.
Yay!
And that was sweet.
Aren't we so
because
happy?
Just Ben's
am.
reaction was just so sweet, because that was his motivation, during that call with that man, that he was not going to see more kids lose their father, right before the holidays and stuff. And so that was really cool to see that.
That's awesome.
I
It's
really
not
feel like
so
the
bad.
Millers are starting to come around.
Yeah, I think they will. And I think we'll see that. Hopefully we will see Karina and Maya pick their donor and get a baby.
Yeah.
That'll be exciting.
That's what I'm excited for.
A
Yeah.
donor who speaks Spanish, so the baby can speak Spanish.
It's so funny.
That far correct me up. I want to see. What do I want to see? I want to see who this new woman chief is,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because I feel like they're building it up.
Yeah.
So it must be someone cool.
If it ends
Oh.
up not being someone real cool, then I'm going to be very disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't even say you're gonna stop watching, because we all know that's.
No,
We say it all the time. This is
I'm
the
never
last time
gonna
I'm watching
stop
this.
watching.
Just
I'll
wait.
just watch it, but I'll be very unhappy while I watch.
Wait till we get to our Grace discussion. I'm going to say it again.
Oh, I'm almost there with you too. Oy, 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 oy.
I guess we
So-
should stop right through here and wait on Shelby then. That way it's a nice.
Yep. Welcome, Shelby.
Thank you.
Hello.
Oh, your hair looks so nice.
Thanks, I straightened it.
Look at you getting all fancied up for us. All right. So Shelby's coming on now because she doesn't watch Station 19. She only watches Grays with us. So no reason for her to sit on here and talk Station 19 when she doesn't watch it. So this week on Grey's Anatomy,
Ooh.
I did it just for you, Shelby.
I love Amanda's introduction voice.
All right. So this is, again, episode 8, same as Station 19. And this week was kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was busy. I know it made a lot of people mad. I was about to curse on this
Mhm.
podcast. It made a lot of people mad. Raise your hand if you're mad. Are we all mad? Yeah,
I
here
might
we
be mad.
are. We're going to keep watching it.
I might be mad. We'll see what happens. February 24th.
I think we're going to be mad.
Amanda, please do not put that mojo out there. Okay, we're going to try to keep positive thoughts.
No, I am preparing myself for the worst thing to happen, because that's what I do.
Let's talk about that later.
Yeah, let's not jump
talk
into
about
that. We're just
some.
going to be bitching the entire.
Although there's lots of things to be complaining about, but
We're just going to
let's
be
not talk
complaining
about that
there.
one yet, because I won't be able to.
There
do it.
there is hope though. I saw on a TikTok, this girl does TikToks just like strictly about Grey's Anatomy. And there was an interview that the writers said that Teddy and Owen would actually be happy this season.
Well, they were for a
So-
little bit.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Is
mean they're
Owen going to
gonna
be happy
stay.
in heaven?
They were happy. Now we're gonna
I'm
rip that
mad.
away like we always do.
I'm
Like
sorry, Amanda, that's not funny, but I mean the way that you said it.
I'm just mad. I'm mad because you guys can mess with a lot of people, but now you're messing with Owen,
I know.
and it's
It's
not
not
cool.
like we have very many people left we love on this show, so
Stop messing with the OGs. Stop.
leave them alone.
Like I'm tired of it.
Well,
Knock
let's
it
talk
off.
about one of my favorite characters that I feel like now I don't like that much this season.
Yeah.
Amelia, who's making me so angry.
I love Amelia still, but I mean she needs to be better at everything.
I mean, if she's truly going to be happy with Kai, fine. Like, I mean, I'm not like opposed. I mean, I don't know. I'm not opposed to like that relationship necessarily. It's just, I feel like, I mean, you just hooked up with Link at Thanksgiving. And
Yeah,
yeah, you
I'm
said
not-
nothing changed, but at the same time, like, you should know that someone like him, it's going to make him feel like something did change, you know, that it's still there. So I hate that for him.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to Kai.
Right.
What I'm opposed to is Amelia being in a new relationship, if that's where this kiss is going.
Yeah, which I think it
know,
is.
I'm honestly, I am very happy that Lincoln saw it.
I am too. I think he needed to see it.
He needed to see that. And I feel like that was a huge wake-up call for him.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I said, even on this podcast 100 times, do not put Link and Joe together. They did it. And here I am thinking
Shipping
Link
them.
and Joe need to be together now.
Yep. Agreed.
Because I think they're the two, they're only going to make each other happy at this point. Joe's been messed around with too much.
Mm-hmm.
Link has been pulled in every direction by Amelia. I
Yeah.
think that they could actually be a very stable relationship.
I just hope that if they do go that way, that they do it the right way, and it's not just like Link just, you know, sleeping with Joe just because we already see that Joe has feelings for him, and if he just sleeps with Joe just because he's heartbroken by Amelia at this point,
Yeah.
I think that would completely break Joe. You guys know how I feel about Joe.
Yeah. I don't think he will. I don't think that's in his character to do something like that. I think if he, especially with someone that's his friend, I mean, like that, I don't see Link being that kind of guy.
Gosh, I mean, I hope not, but did you see her poor face when he was giving that speech?
Oh my gosh.
My heart was just breaking.
Yeah.
Every single word that came out of his mouth. I was like, oh my gosh, please
It
shut
was
up.
Such a beautiful
Yeah.
speech.
Yeah, I was watching him and I was like, Lincoln, you good looking
So dumb.
little ding dong, just shut up.
So dumb.
Perfect. Good looking little ding dong.
Yeah.
It was funnier after it came
so-
out of my mouth.
Yeah, I was like, oh honey, you're so pretty. Be quiet.
Guys are so oblivious too. Like, you know, if any female was standing there watching that like interaction or whatever you want to call it, they would know, like, just by Joe's face that like Joe was completely heartbroken by the fact that Link was saying all this to Amelia.
Yeah.
And Link is just like, I've got to go see her
Yeah.
now. I can't wait till Christmas.
Yeah. I thought it was funny when she finally called him and was like, you know, Amelia's here. And he's like, no, she's in Minnesota. Like, no, like I just saw her. She's here. Like, she's here.
I like how he's arguing with her.
Right?
Like,
No.
no, I just saw her in the elevator. She's here. Stop
here.
arguing with me.
Funny.
Oh man. So
And how awkward that had to have been for her too.
I know.
Yeah.
Really, when Joe's sitting there with Amelia's kid.
Which I think is, I don't know. I'm
And
glad
that-
we saw her like pick up Scout because I feel like we hadn't really seen a whole lot of like we've
No.
seen Link have Scout a lot, but we really hadn't seen her interact with him at all. So I was glad we saw that.
I mean, Amelia's in Minnesota all the time.
Speaking of the kids, I want to backtrack a little bit. Those beginning like scenes where Meredith's like actually like hanging out with the kids with like the Christmas decorations and stuff. I know it was like a small thing, but like I absolutely love that since we haven't really seen her with the kids and stuff that much. Like, I don't know. It made my heart happy because it's like, okay, she actually is doing the mom thing too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think so. All right. So what about Meredith and the Dr. Sandy whole situation
y'all.
going on this week?
Still don't know his name. It's going to be Dr. Sandy forever. So.
Dr. Hamilton.
Hamilton. See, there you
Dr.
go.
Sandy Hamilton, yes.
Yeah.
See, you would think that you could remember that because of you loving Hamilton so much.
Yeah, but he's just Dr. Sandy. I mean, he's Sandy Cohen. I can't get it out of my head.
It's Sandy Cohen forever, honey.
Or he's Zoe's
think-
dad. You know, I don't know.
I think it's why it bothers me that he's just acting like such a jerk every
Mhm.
episode. I'm like,
I know.
Dr. Sandy.
Sandy would never act like that. Okay?
No. And that's why it is. It's hard. I don't expect him to act
Right?
like that. And then he does. I'm like, oh, hey, why?
Stop. Yeah.
Like, stop it. Don't do that. That's mean.
Don't be a jerk.
What did you guys think of his interaction with Richard? Do you think there's some history there?
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
And I want to know what it is.
Yeah.
I need to know what it is.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
Because you never really see Richard get feisty like that.
Yeah.
Nope.
You do, but you know, only with people he has a not so great history with.
Yeah.
And it's
Well, I
usually
mean-
for a good reason.
Yeah. I'm on Richard's side and I don't even know what happened.
I say.
So.
I was like, I guess
don't
we
need to
do
know.
not like Dr. Sandy. Okay.
Whatever happened, I'm Team Richard. I don't know what it is, but
Yep. Well, I mean, we know Dr. Hamilton. We know that he's kind of an arrogant jerk. So he's probably done something to be that way towards Richard. And Richard, that's not something that he's, I don't know.
No,
I'm
it's
on his
definitely
side.
something Dr. Sandy did.
Definitely.
I'm sure Richard was just trying to do something good, and
Yeah.
Cohen was all like, no, don't do that. Who knows?
I wonder if it has something to do with Ellis. Because Dr.
Ooh.
Sandy is from Ellis's past too.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he like helped her during the pregnancy or something. Were they both in Boston?
Maybe. Yeah. I think,
Juicy.
I don't know, but that sounds like a good storyline to me. So
We
go
can
with
we
that.
can deep dive into that.
That works for me.
All right. So what else
He didn't-
happens?
He didn't
So he
his
didn't get his surgery.
Mm-mm.
I was
So
a little mad at him for lying about like how he was feeling and stuff because as adamant as he's been being about not messing up this trial or whatever it is,
Yeah.
he pretty much messed it up.
Well, he doesn't care about, yeah, I mean, I don't think he really cares about this trial. He's just caring about himself. And like, I mean, and that it kind of bugs me that he's using this as like, oh, I'm trying to like find a cure for Parkinson and help people with that, you know, disease. But it's really more just about like, what can you guys do
Yeah.
for me?
Yeah. And I like that Meredith is not turning over about this one because I mean it kind of all goes back to the Alzheimer's
Mhm.
trial that she messed up.
Yeah.
And he's asking her to flip this one again. And she's like,
Yeah.
no.
yeah, I was thinking of that Alzheimer's trial
Mhm.
during this the whole time. I was like, no, she's not doing that again. She knows what happened last time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she's learned
not
her
she's
lesson.
way more mature now. And
Mhm.
I don't think she cares about this dude.
No, not
No,
like she
she's
did at all.
she's in this to cure Parkinson's for more than just selfish Dr. Sandy.
Yeah.
And you know, I get that he's he's a doctor and he has Parkinson's and that's why he wants to find a cure. But it sounds like he just wants a cure for him. He doesn't care about how good this treatment is in regards to other people,
Yeah.
just as long as it works for him.
Yeah. I mean, I think he cares in the regard that he'll get the credit for it, you know, because he funded this. And I think he cares about that part. But he did make a good point, though, about I didn't really think about it, but Meredith that she probably is a little bit thinking about what could happen after this trial for like other like neurodegenerate diseases.
Yeah, I mean, he made that point in there too, and I was like, that's spot on. Probably
Yeah, I
why
hadn't
she
thought
was
about
doing
that.
this
Mm-hmm.
is because she knows that it could be the next step into curing Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Meredith has grown a lot though. She has a backbone now. Like because before she pretty much just rolled over with whatever somebody said.
Yep.
Mhm.
The fact that she actually stood up to him, like I feel like that's a big like character development for her.
Yeah.
It
She
is.
stood up to him. She stood up to Bailey earlier in the season too. So she's really, not taking a word that Maureen won't let me say from anyone.
Crap.
She's
You
not,
can say
and
crap.
I'm
That's
very
okay.
happy about it because I feel like Meredith, her character, always gets a lot of flack about being, I don't know, about being a pushover, I guess is the word I'm trying to figure out. And she's not anymore.
No.
I
and
think that this poor girl has been through so much
yeah.
that these things, she's like, whatever. And she just, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I
I'm not
mean,
gonna let anybody screw with her anymore.
in that way, I think that's Derek's death was good for her in that way. I mean, I don't want to say, I mean, obviously she lost her partner and the father to her children and all that, but I think it definitely helped her learn to stand up for herself.
Absolutely. It did.
Because when she was a pushover, it was mostly for Derek most of the time.
That's what I was just gonna say. Derek pretty much walked all over her.
Kind of.
Until it got later on in their relationship, she quit rolling over.
Yeah.
She would fight back with him a lot. And I mean, sadly towards the end, he was getting better about it. He was letting her have more of her time. He was, trying to help out more. And I honestly think that that's why Derek's death was hard on a lot of people, is because he was turning around that arrogance. You didn't see him be so arrogant anymore towards the end.
Yeah.
He still was, but he's also a neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be
They all
arrogant
are.
assholes.
Yeah.
I mean, Tom is
Buttheads.
too.
Sorry.
Amelia is too. I mean, like, yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's one of the traits. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they even make the joke several times
Yeah.
in the course of the 18 seasons.
Yeah. I think
That
a lot of the surgeons in general.
Most surgeons
way.
are.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, they
Very-
need to have confidence. I mean, I don't fault them for that,
Even look at the Resident. Look at the surgeons on the Resident.
Yeah.
Arrogant. AJ, Mina, Belle. They all have this arrogance about them.
Yeah.
And you know what I think is funny? Levi's starting to come into that too.
Yep.
And we see
But
how
then
that
we
works.
saw what
Oh.
happened.
Oh
Yep.
no, Levi this week.
I was so mad at him.
I was so disappointed in him.
And even because
I got so upset. He
Helm was
put
trying to tell
Helm
him,
in that
like-
position.
Yeah, and I was proud of her for
She
not like sugarcoating it and not trying to cover for him. Like 'cause
Yeah,
she
she
didn't need
full-
to.
Yeah, she full and threw him under the bus. I was like, oh, we're doing this.
Right. And
I'm
I mean, I
glad
think it
she
was
did.
more of she had to they needed to know what happened in that room.
I
mean,
think
so
that was
that
needed.
it was needed. And I was proud of her for that. Because it was hard for her to throw him under the bus like that.
And they were going to find out what happened. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Bailey and Richard. I mean, they were going to find out one way or the other. So
Yeah.
I think she was more, I don't feel like she was really throwing him under the bus as she was trying to help him
Yeah.
and protect him how she can, because she can't lie to them.
No.
They need to know the truth. They need to know what happened, but she knew that Levi was going to have a really hard time saying what he did and how it happened. So she did that. And that's why she even tried to call time of death. And Bailey said, no,
Oh man, that was hard.
that killed me. But also she was right.
Mm-hmm.
He will
I
never do
really-
that again.
I really think that Levi's going to go into a downward spiral over this
Oh,
because he cares. I said that really weird. He cares so much about everything. Like, I really think that this is either gonna make him better or it's gonna make him spiral.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's
Yeah.
gonna be any in between.
I have a really bad feeling it's going to be a spiral and I'm not looking forward to it at all.
Yeah.
You know
It's
who
gonna-
else though? Sorry, Eve, go ahead.
It's going to be painful to watch. I mean, if that's the
It is.
direction they're heading, it's going to be very painful.
It is. I think this, when Grace comes back, this whole next episode is going to be very hard to watch.
Yeah.
I think it is. And then hopefully they get that out of their system and we can move on to some happier times.
Yeah, this episode, they were like, what can we do to really break our viewers' hearts? I know.
Yeah.
Let's do these 5 million things.
Let's mess with
And then we'll
Levi.
just end the show until February.
Right.
Because not only when they did that to Levi, it also looks extremely bad on Richard.
It does, because, and the thing is, I mean, Maggie, like, here she comes back and she's like, I can't believe we're doing this.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, I mean, she's proven right.
Bailey still wasn't on board either, not
Mhm.
fully.
Yeah.
Like they just barely got her to kind of agree to it. So she
Mhm.
wasn't on board either. So this could be the end of the Weber method. And
Yeah.
besides
I hope
fans-
I hope it's not the end of it. I hope they can see that it's also been beneficial, because I think it has. Hopefully they can just figure out how can we tweak this so that this doesn't happen again, but still kind of give these, residents some confidence here to do this on their own.
Well, I mean, also a protocol was broken.
Right.
So really the Weber method wasn't to blame here,
Yeah.
because
That's
if he
true.
would have stopped and waited for the attending like he was supposed to,
Yep.
the probability of this happening would have been much lower.
Yeah.
So
I'm really worried that they're gonna go towards the fact, like, maybe they'll fire him like for malpractice or something, because didn't they do that with April? And then she went back to the farm and then someone went and got her back or something like that.
I think in that
Yeah,
case
right,
though,
right.
weren't they having to make cuts?
they were, and right now they're having a hard time finding doctors.
Yeah.
So I don't think they'll get rid of them. At least that's my hope, because if they get rid of Levi, then if they get rid of
You're-
Levi and Owen, that
Are you
might be a
done?
hard stop for even me.
Yeah.
I hope that we see the supportive side of Nico too with Levi. Because
Yeah.
I love them. Like, I know Nico can be a jerk sometimes and stuff,
Yeah.
but I absolutely love them together.
I kind of forgot that existed until you just said that, to be honest with you. I was
Well,
like, Nico.
they've been
oh, yeah.
together. I mean, they were just together on the
know.
Thanksgiving episode.
Somehow I blocked that out. I don't know.
That's
Because
his
they've
name,
gone
isn't
back and forth, and Nico's not in every episode.
Yeah. I don't really like him all that much. So, it's another reason
He's
probably.
got a pretty nice body.
Oh, absolutely.
He's fun to look at.
I like him on Walker. He's a good guy over there.
But see,
He's
maybe if they show the supportive side of him, maybe he'll be more likable too. Because he's up
True.
until now, he's kind of been like how Derek was to Meredith.
Well,
in a way, maybe
I
not
mean,
as
even on the
bad,
thing,
but
on the Thanksgiving episode, you could see a turn in Nico as well.
Yeah.
Him
He's hanging
sitting
out
down there
Levi's
with
mom.
Levi's mom and talking and wanting to know things about him.
Yeah.
I think Nico's already making that change.
Yeah.
And I think he will be supportive of Levi and be there for him. And hopefully that's all Levi needs to get out of that. But
We'll see.
Levi's gonna have a really hard time
Mhm.
coming up. Also, it's not on our list, but I want to mention while we're here. What does everybody think about the new, was he a resident?
I don't like him, guys.
Bailey's kiss butt?
I don't like him.
I don't
I
like him either.
I liked
There's
him when we
something up.
first met him, but
Same.
now I'm like, it's just kind of weird. He's just like, I'm here to learn from Dr. Bailey. I'm like, well,
It's too much.
there's lots of other really good doctors at this hospital who actually
Mhm.
trained Bailey. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I feel like. Oh, go ahead, Jeanette.
no, I was just saying, like, I mean, I agreed with Amanda. I mean, it's just too much. There's something off about him, in my opinion.
He's definitely got a pair on him, like as far as like standing up to Richard like that. Like I'm not doing surgery with you. I came to learn from Bailey. Well, Richard's the one that taught Bailey.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that made me.
and honestly, as a resident, you have a choice with that. Like, you
Yeah.
take what you get.
Right.
And because he's saying it to Bailey, she's just going along with it because she's like,
well, I think he's stroking her ego right now. And she likes
yeah,
it.
she likes it.
So it's fine. But I think it's odd, and I'm not sure where they're going to go with the storyline, but I think it's awkward, and I don't like it.
It'll have to
The
be.
other thing too. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say he's got to be beamed back down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's living on a little high cloud right now, and he's got to be knocked down a peg or two.
Yeah.
When Ben was showed in the hospital and Bailey introduced the new guy to him, did you see the face?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree. I was afraid I was like seeing something weird, but I don't know.
No,
I don't want to
you
make
weren't.
any assumptions because it feels like an odd assumption, but I don't like the storyline. I don't like where it's going.
I don't either. I'm like, don't do that. Do not start messing with Ben and Bailey.
Well, we already messed with them a little bit with that fire lady over on Station 19. And so I'm like, let's not do anything else. They got enough on their plates with Prue. Like, we don't need any issues.
Yeah, just it's not the right time right now. Please don't do it.
It's not the right time ever. For
Yeah,
any
just don't do it.
Ben and Bailey, just don't do it ever.
You mess with
don't
everybody else. Can you just leave one alone?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Come on. All right,
So,
so let's move on to Farouk.
oh my gosh.
Oh, that sweet boy.
Bad.
I am so like I was so worried about him. I still am. I mean, I think we're gonna get the heart to him in time, but my goodness, I mean, just can you imagine Megan and how she's like, I mean, she's a mess right now. And I don't blame her because I can't even imagine like sitting and like not knowing what's gonna happen to your kid.
Yeah, it's exactly. Her depression has gotten me, and she looks so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't think of his name right now. McWidow is the only thing that's coming.
Hayes. Yeah.
Hayes,
Nick
thank
Widow.
you.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm glad Hayes pointed it out. I don't know
Mhm.
how they can miss that she's gotten this bad.
Yeah. I think Owen's wrapped up in his own thing with the soldiers and stuff, and he's just oblivious. I don't know.
And
I mean,
it can also be hard to see. I mean, I would imagine it can be hard to see if it's someone you know so well
True.
inside and out, like your own sister.
yeah.
But from an outsider's perspective, it's probably a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, when you're closer to it, you probably don't want to see it. And so probably somehow you make yourself not see it, whereas
Like, I'm sure Owen noticed. He was just always willing to be like, oh, well, she's just going through a hard time right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Just trying to, explain it away.
yeah.
I mean, because she has reason to be depressed. She has reason to
does.
feel sad. So, and I mean, you can't be like, hey, cheer up.
Cheer up. Yeah. But I definitely think, someone needs to be there encouraging her to like, even if you just step away to the cafeteria for a few minutes, like just go outside, get some fresh air, do something to step away from his bedside, because I mean, that's just not good for anyone,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you work, you've got a hospital full of like friends and family. Like, I know people will step in for you and sit with you and keep an eye on him while you do something like that.
But could you imagine? I mean, I'm not a mom, but just sitting by the bedside, like helpless, not being able to do anything at all, like the least you can do is hold his hand.
It
and
would
that's
be-
probably what's going through her head.
Yeah. It would be the worst thing ever. But I mean, it's the whole saying. I mean, you've got to take care of yourself because you can't take care of someone else if you're not, well yourself. And so that's why she needs people around her to make her do these things, because she's not going to do them on her own. I mean, I don't think any mother would. You do want to be there, but you're going to need someone to force you to get up and go do something else just for a little bit.
Yeah. And I'm glad her mom
Especially-
came.
Mhm.
Yeah. Especially when the dad's not around to help take some flack off either.
Right. And that's another thing. Like, I know that, like we said, her and Nathan are splitting up, but don't we think this might be a moment when like he might be needed? It kind of frustrates me because
He's
we
not
know
his dad.
Yeah, but he was married to her for how many years has it been since they left? So he's been raising this child.
The 2-3 years, maybe.
I mean, he's been raising him. You would think that he would care about the child's like life or death here.
But he hasn't even been mentioned, not just,
I
hey,
think it's odd,
yeah.
especially since we know him and we know the kind of person and the kind of character he has. And I understand the actor's probably not available, but could we mention him? Like we spoke, I don't know. Like it just,
Yeah.
I hate it when they like leave little pieces of a story out.
Yeah, because with Christina, when Meredith was, in her COVID coma,
Right.
that's a tongue twister, in her COVID coma, I mean, at least they showed Owen and Christina texting. They didn't have to show her. So it's just weird they're not doing the same thing with the Riggs. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't think anything of it until right now when you mentioned it. But yeah, that's really
I
odd.
didn't either until Shelby said something about his dad. And I'm like, well, Riggs is like the closest thing he has to a dad. So why isn't he there?
Well, he's overseas too.
Well,
I mean,
make a phone
they
call.
said that they made that clear that he
Yeah.
was overseas, and
That's true.
they've
But you can still make a
broken
phone
up,
call.
and
You could still check in somehow. I mean,
who knows? Maybe they are. They're just not
Maybe
going to
they
show
are.
it.
yeah.
I wish we could have some more Riggs time.
What do you guys think will happen like with Megan if okay, so Farouk gets the heart, but Owen passes away in this car crash. How do you think Megan's going to respond to that? Do you think the depression will get worse, or do you think it'll be better because of Farouk being better?
I think it'll be just as bad because I think she'll blame herself for him being out on the. I mean, I feel like I would be happy that my child was okay, but if my brother had went to retrieve the heart and then died in a car accident, I would blame myself, I think.
Especially if she's already depressed. I mean,
Mhm.
if you're depressed, it's not just because of one thing. If that one thing gets better, she's going to still be depressed.
Yes.
So there's always going to be something.
Right. And logic, I mean, if you're depressed like that, I mean, the logic of situations isn't going to be the same either. I mean, obviously if Lowen dies, it isn't her fault, but I feel like she's going to feel like it is because of her depression and just not being able to separate the two.
Hopefully. I mean, hopefully Owen is okay. And they get the heart in time. And Farouk is okay.
Happy endings for everybody.
Come on, Krista.
I do
Come
think
on.
I think the heart's going to get there in time. That one I'm for sure of. Because I mean, Teddy already, I think it's going to be okay. And
Unless the
kudos
dog eats it.
to Hayes, right? Oh God. Farouk doesn't deserve that. Dan may have, but
With Dan, it was funny. With Farouk, it's not going to be.
It won't
funny.
be funny.
I would cry if it
Yes.
if it happened to Farouk.
And it would not be, hysterical laughter tears. It would be like real sad tears.
I laughed
never-
when it happened to Dan.
I didn't, because you all are heartless. I never laughed. That was awful. Okay.
I think actually my first reaction watching it was just my mouth open going, are
Now
you
that
serious? I think I did that though. Like I laughed while going, oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
But
I
anyway.
want to say, like, kudos to Hayes, man. He held on to
Mhm.
that cooler.
He did.
I mean, in the midst of that accident. I mean, I was proud.
Yep. Not a scratch or a dent
Mm-mm.
on it.
No.
Good for the cooler.
Right.
So
Here we go.
no, before I watched it, after the episode had played, we were doing a podcast when Grace was on,
Mm-hmm.
and you remember we were trying to read. What I read was that the car went off the cliff and the window was open and the heart fell out the
Oh.
window and it was gone. So when I went in to watch Grace, that's why, do you guys remember me saying like the heart's gone? And you're like, no, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
That's
I'm
why I was
confused.
saying it. It's because that's what I read. But that was a very false lead.
Oh, I think I muted the chat because I didn't get to watch it until Friday night. But
Shelby had us all scared during the podcast, like sending messages. We're reading it like, oh my gosh.
We just
No.
stopped in the middle of the podcast going, what's happening?
Okay, so what had happened was, because you guys know I don't watch live. Well, I saw a TikTok from the same girl that I was talking about earlier, and she said what she said, and I was like, okay, I don't like spoilers, but I gotta read this spoiler. So like I went online and read it, and I was like, yeah, I gotta warn them because they're gonna be so mad.
Oh,
Like it was the least I could do because you guys did it for me with DeLuca. So
Well, Owen's not dead.
no,
So
he's not dead. I think he's gonna survive, guys.
I think he does some Superman-ish and like rolls out of the car like mid-roll or something. I don't know, but
He'll be like hanging from a
in my
tree.
head, he does some Superman.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
gonna be fine.
exactly. And then like we see the tree branch like start to break, but like he just like jumps off of
he's
it.
Owen.
Okay.
He can jump, make that jump.
Yeah.
Completely fine.
Yeah, he'll be
Or
good.
Superman.
He has survived worse, guys. He can do this.
What
Oh,
I'm worried about though is I don't think that he'd leave the driver in the car to just like be
He's
The
dead,
so
driver-
like
though.
I could see him.
Yeah, but the driver's already dead. We're not worried about
He
him.
already looked
Is
at his
he?
pupil. He said his pupil's gone.
Yeah,
like,
he had
he's
he had
gone.
like a
Oh.
stroke.
He had a blown
He's
pupil.
dead.
He had a
I
make.
must have missed that.
Yeah, he thought he had a massive stroke.
And
He's
if
not
the-
going to try to get him out. That's why they weren't even trying to help him.
And if the car's falling, he's not going to take his time to try to get someone out of the car who's already gone.
It did show you just how good of a person he was, trying to get Teddy and Hayes out of that car before him.
Oh, him
Because
and
he said
Teddy
our
were-
kids cannot be orphans. And Hayes, your kids already lost a mother. They can't lose their father too.
Yeah.
It just shows you how big of a heart Owen has.
Why don't people like him? He's
I don't
amazing. I
know.
don't get it.
Shelby, you want to tell us?
He's growing on me. I didn't like him when he was dating Christina.
See, I did too. I did
I did.
back then.
You liked him then? I did too.
Mhm.
I've always liked him.
There was
From
there was a
things-
couple of times where I was like mad at him,
Yeah, but
but I feel like I've been mad at everybody in the show.
Mm-hmm.
I used to not like Owen, and I can't remember why I didn't like him. I started liking him when I started talking to you guys.
How can you
'Cause
not
we're
like
right
Owen?
about
Full of,
things.
you know, Janetta's right.
He's just
Always.
he's a great guy.
Yeah.
And I like his
Um,
real accent better though. I wish all these doctors spoke in their real accents.
Mm-hmm.
Owen, Joe, who
That
else?
blew my mind when I saw Camila Luddington in an interview. I was like, oh my gosh, she does have an accent.
Mm-hmm. She does.
'Cause
Oh,
I
yes.
knew that he was British like this whole time, but I never heard her accent. I was like, oh wow, that's so weird to hear that voice coming out of, that face. Like
Mhm.
Yep. Even Owen or Kevin McKidd, when I still see him outside on interviews or on TikTok or wherever, I follow him on all the things. He's actually one of the very few actors I follow on all the things.
Mhm.
I don't even follow most of our people on all the things.
Kevin McKidd has a Scottish accent, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ooh,
So it's that real thick. I'm like,
yeah. I need to follow him too.
Mhm.
It's kind of like how Hayes' is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I feel like it's
Kinda.
It's different though.
Yeah,
somehow.
because I mean, Hayes is what, Irish, right?
he's Irish. Yeah. The Scottish is like, I don't know, it's
A
different.
little bit more harsh,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
Husky and manly sounding.
Manly men.
Like, yeah.
Manly man. His daughter's really big on TikTok too.
Mhm. She is.
As well.
So, what are you guys' predictions for when it returns in February?
I mean, well, I predict that Owen is alive and everything will be fine. I think Farouk's gonna, that might be wishful thinking, but that's what I'm gonna go with. I think Farouk will get his heart. I really do think that part's gonna happen. I don't know. I mean, I think we've said, like, I think Levi is definitely gonna be in a bad place. Hopefully it doesn't last long. And then maybe Joe will eventually tell Link how she's feeling and they can live happily ever after as well. But these are all wishful thinking because it's Grey's Anatomy and no one lives happily ever after. So
And Krista does not do what we ask, so
Rude. Rude, Krista. Rude.
obviously we know what we're talking about. She should listen to us.
I agree.
You should. As I'm sitting
You
here
know-
emailing your people right now.
You know, if Joe and Link do end up together, I think it's funny because Luna and Scout could totally pass as their kids and as siblings, in my opinion.
I agree.
Even though Scout's
Also a
still
year
supposed to be
older?
much older than he is. And it bothers
bugs
me
me.
every episode.
It
It
bugs
bothers
me
me
so bad.
so bad.
Because he was born like right
How
before
is-
quarantine. He was born before quarantine. So,
Yeah.
and this is even jumped in the future ahead of quarantine.
Yeah.
Like,
So he
ahead of
should-
And he's
COVID.
still a bit, and he's still like the same size as
I
Luna.
mean,
I'm
he
like,
should
shouldn't
be,
Shouldn't he
he
be
should
close
be
to
like 2 at least.
yeah, he should be around 2. And it bugs me so bad.
And Luna was like born like a year later, and she was a preemie. So she should be like a whole lot smaller than him.
I don't know why they did that.
Oh yeah, because shouldn't Scout be around Allison's age?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen much of Allison, I don't think. We've seen Leo.
I mean, Allison was in the car seat. I mean, not the
Yeah.
car seat, in the stroller.
Which I guess
Like-
Allison looks young too. So
Like we've seen them with the kids, but they haven't like shown Allison's face.
And I'm sure COVID has a lot to do with that the kids are not on set as much as they used to be.
yeah, true.
But that kid who plays Leo is just such a beautiful little boy.
Oh, he really
Oh
is.
my God.
So in
His
love with
little
him. Those little curls.
I-
Yes.
So cute.
And even Mare's kids are so cute too. Like Zola is like growing up so much, it's crazy.
Mhm.
Yep.
And little Ellis.
I
She's
love
just
her.
so cute and so funny. I love her.
Mhm.
They need to show more Ellis.
Yeah. We get a lot more Bailey and Zola than we do any of the other kids. But I think that's
Yeah.
because they're the older
Yeah, they're
ones.
older.
Yeah.
So I guess that's
I think
think
I
we
mean my
covered it.
predictions are the same exact as yours. So I don't want to
I would love to see Link and Joe get together. If
mhm.
Link can just stop being such a ding dong, then maybe that can happen.
I hope so.
I think Joe will have to spell it out for him. It's the only way he's gonna
Yeah.
understand.
He's
But will she?
I don't know.
no, I don't know. Link's pretty, but he doesn't seem to be all that bright.
I would agree with that. I mean, like obviously he is because he's a surgeon. But
But that's book smarts. That's different.
yeah.
Oh man, did we still not get a scene with Link and Sandy?
Oh, we didn't.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on. They missed an opportunity right there. Okay, they're not
I
done
don't-
yet though.
We'll see.
We have to get them together.
Mhm.
Link
Guys,
and Dr.
you know
Sandy.
what I just thought about?
What?
What if Owen is fine in the accident, but something happens with his legs and they call Callie to fix him? That would be a way to get Callie back.
Mm,
Yeah. But wouldn't they just use Link?
I don't know because
Maybe not though.
what's her name? What's their name? Sorry.
Okay.
Kai,
Right?
No,
Oh,
Callie in real life.
Sarah.
oh.
Sarah
Sarah.
Ramirez.
she's on Sex
she
and the
is
City.
Sex in the City. She's a new role. She's on the revamp of Sex in the City.
She's a main character, right?
He's busy.
Yeah.
That
So
would happen.
she might not be coming
Bummer.
back to Grace since she has they have something else. I gotta get better. She
I
said
know.
they're there now.
So I think that's it. I think we've talked about everything. You guys make sure to stay tuned for our upcoming episodes. On Sunday, we have a Gilmore Girls interview ready for you all. And then following that on Wednesday, or I think it's Thursday and Sunday, not sure. Sometime the week after that, we are going to be doing something new and fun with our Gilmore Girls group. You can make sure to follow that group on Facebook. We'll be making some announcements about all of that. And that's it. Bye, guys.
Bye.
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 So if you guys want to find us on Facebook, all you have to do is search in Facebook for Family Fan Club. All 15, yeah, I said 15 of our groups are going to pop up for you. You want a specific group, you can always go check out our podcast pages. We will have our groups listed in there. And you can find us on any of our social media, which is Twitter and Instagram and TikTok as Fandom Family Chats. And we are constantly trying to get you fun content. Jeanette is our TikTok wizard, trying to get you fun videos there. Usually has a lot of dudes on there, so there's that for you. We have our Twitter and Instagram is not as active as we'd like it to be, and we're working on that, but still, if you have any questions for us, if you want to get involved with what we're doing, if you want to know more about what we do, or maybe some interviews we have coming down the pike, you can hit us up on any of those resources, or you can email us at familyfanclub2021@gmail.com. We check that almost religiously, so reach out to us there and we'll get back to you. Watch out for our website coming soon. We're going to have some merch available for you if you'd like to wear some of our show merchandise for family fan clubs and Fandom Family Chats, as well as we're going to make some FFC merch for some of the shows we run, like Teen Wolf or Vampire Diaries. We're going to have some fun things for you there. So watch out for that. Keep an eye out for that. And if you are able to, look at our YouTube page, subscribe to that, and keep an eye on our Facebook page. We have Fandom Family Chats. We're going to be making some announcements here in the near future about a big, huge event we've got coming down the pike in June of 2023. So, watch out for that. Get ready to listen to some crazy stuff next week again, and we'll see you real soon.